Are used to watching Harrison Butker on the football field with the Chiefs as he helped kick their way to multiple Super Bowl victories. But now, after giving a commencement speech at Benedictine College, he's facing backlash surrounding some of the comments.
Tonight, Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker still in the spotlight, days after his controversial graduation speech.
Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men.
The speech, which included shots at the LGBTQ community and urged women to become homemakers, has been widely condemned.
Listen, I like when people say what they need to say. He's at a Catholic college. Yeah. He's a staunch Catholic. These are his beliefs, and he's welcome to them. I don't have to believe him. Right. I don't have to accept them. The ladies that were sitting in that audience do not have to accept them.
I didn't feel like he was threatening me as a woman or making me any less of a woman.
Allison and her friends say they felt mostly support among their fellow classmates.
I think that you have to say, like, yeah, maybe that isn't exactly like everything that the way I would have said it, but I respect that that is what you believe in.
But tonight, that backlash drumming up sales.
Before this week, many casual NFL fans may not have been able to pick Butker out of a lineup, but now take a look at this. His jersey is one of the top sellers on the NFL store, the #1 most popular amongst the Chiefs, and now both the men and the women's Butker jerseys are completely sold out.
The Chiefs quickly adding more stock of those jerseys as some conservatives rally in support. Republican Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri posting, "Never more proud to call Harrison Butker my friend." And several conservative media outlets publishing several articles arguing Butker was right when he made those comments about women.
Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. All of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Well, for the Catholic community, the debate is real. Some support.
A Catholic man encouraging Catholic beliefs to Catholic students is a breath of fresh air.
But his words rubbed some Catholic students the wrong way. Mary Acker graduated from Benedictine College in 2019.
What offended you about his remarks?
It's disheartening, and all of that was boiled down to, I bet you're most excited to go out and start a family.
I'm a working mom. I've had a job at the height of politics. I have a job now at the height of television. That's not my best job in life. My best job in life is being a mother, is the things I do at home. Beautiful words about his wife. But while a lot has been made of those comments, people ignore the other 19 minutes of the speech. I listened to all 20 minutes on my way in, and I was blown away. This was the best graduation speech that I have ever heard in my entire life.
You are talking to the people who have chosen career as a path. To want marriage and kids is not exclusive or more important or less important than getting married or having kids.
And he didn't
I think
say
that's
that.
what I take issue with.
But he never said that having a career was less valuable than being a homemaker. He just said that he believed homemaker is one of the most valuable things a woman can do. And he never said that those women aren't allowed to have careers. And it's also not the case that just because they went to college that they're going to value their career as the most important thing in their life. Some of them very well may drop out of the workforce when they have children. 65% of women make that choice because they want to stay home with their kids.
PR and crisis management expert Molly McPherson says it's unlikely Butker will be quote unquote canceled.
There are a number of reasons why Butker will not be canceled. One, there is a growing number of Catholic schools out there and colleges that are embracing traditional Catholic ideology. He falls directly in line with that. But also the Kansas City Chiefs, their ownership very much is in alignment with Butker's thinking.
The family of Chiefs owner Clark Hunt appearing to endorse that message. His daughter Gracie saying this on Fox and Friends.
I've had the most incredible mom who had the ability to stay home and be with us as kids growing up.
And his wife Tavia writing on Instagram, affirming motherhood and praising your wife is not bigoted. The speech was met with a standing ovation, but some students in the audience at Benedictine College upset with what they heard.
Getting married and having kids is not my ideal situation right now. It definitely made graduation feel a little less special.
Even the nuns that helped start the college saying Butker's words do not represent the Catholic Benedictine liberal arts college that our founders envisioned.
But others associated with the game have expressed outrage at Butker's comments, including the wife of a fellow NFL player.
My life didn't start when I married my husband.
And a former Chiefs cheerleader.
When you said stay in your lane 10 plus times, bruh, take your own advice.
The Los Angeles Chargers taking the opportunity to mock Butker in its schedule release video, showing the player in a kitchen in a simulated video.
The NFL responding, saying Butker gave a speech in his personal capacity, and his views are not those of the league.
And you know what? The NFL, for them to come out, their senior vice president and chief diversity and inclusion officer comes out and says he gave a speech in his personal capacity. His views are not those of the NFL. His views are the vast majority of those who watch the NFL, good, hardworking Americans, many of whom go to church, many of whom are faith-filled. How dare you say that? But here's the thing. People recognize truth. We live in a very dark time. And when someone speaks life and when someone speaks truth, not from a place of anger, but a place of compassion, and that's exactly what he did, what happens? You go, Harris Butker. You're living in your for such a time as this moment, and it is awesome to watch.
The NFL is not being genuous. They're ingenuous. In fact, they're lying when they say it doesn't meet their standards or, that it violates whatever they said. Damar Hamlin nearly died on the field. Well, he was dead for a few seconds. They brought him back to life, was what the reports have been. Everybody was kneeling and praying. In fact, ESPN anchors are saying, oh, my gosh, and everybody across the country, and there were videos of news anchors and people all over praying for Damar Hamlin. I didn't see the NFL put out a statement then about how it doesn't fit whatever their policies are. Religion, it went too far. I didn't see it then. They're being disingenuous. Maybe they're just jealous because they didn't come up with it. But the NFL needs to clean up, too. You believe something in faith. Everybody was praying for Damar Hamlin, and you were silent. How is this different? Harrison Butker, by the way, is pivotal to those 3 Super Bowls. Those seasons were some of the best in Kansas City history, leading up to and including. God bless him, and he is brave, Lisa.
Yes. To me, the outrage that's been generated around his speech and the culture war that's developing, right, where the right is defending him and the left is attacking him for suggesting that women not work or that women, see their true vocation as being wives and mothers, sort of is a smokescreen for the economic reality in which many women would love to stay home and raise their children, would love to work part-time and focus on their families, but it is not economically viable in the economy that was created by a handshake agreement between right and left. And so to me, this kind of outrage machine, both the outrage on the left and the defense on the right, is simply a way of us still not talking about the fact that you can no longer afford to sustain a family on a single income. Although, of course, for Butker, that's not a problem. He's very wealthy.
Right. So again, he's just speaking to his experience and the broader societal trends that show women do want to stay home more than men do. They often choose to leave the workforce after they have kids, and most of them want to get married. And the dastardly lie that he's talking about was brought on by third wave feminism. And I know that feminism in its perfect definition doesn't say this, but in practice, in reality, third wave feminism told women that they should act like men in order to be empowered. They should value their career above all else. They should engage in hookup culture and have casual sex because that's viewed as empowering. If you just look at some of the modern feminist magazines, some of the articles that they write talking about how women are supposed to live and what's supposed to make them feel empowered, it's by behaving like men. There's so many women who we hear from nowadays who talk about the fact that they have waited too long to get married and have children, beyond the point that they're even able or capable of having children. We see these viral TikTok videos of 40-year-old women crying in their cars because they're being told that they're no longer fertile, that they don't have any eggs left, because they were sold the bill of goods that they could wait as long as they wanted to. They could focus on their career for as long as they wanted to and have as much corporate success as they wanted and still go back and have kids. And it turns out that that's just not true. And so, that's the disservice that he's talking about. The fact that if women do want those things, they have to make it a priority and they can't wait too long because that opportunity is going to dissipate pretty quickly.
As the commencement speech was picking up heat, the official X account for Kansas City posted a reminder that Butker actually lives outside the area. They specifically mentioned the city he lives in. It was quickly deleted. The mayor of Kansas City apologizing for that message, saying it was, quote, clearly inappropriate for a public account. The Missouri Attorney General, though, is now calling it doxing and vowing to hold the city accountable.
Because the city, according to the mayor, and now the AG is looking into whether or not the city doxed, put out personal information to find the home of Harrison Butker. He says, a message appeared earlier this evening from a city public account. The message was clearly inappropriate for a public account. The city has correctly apologized for the error. We'll review account access and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, what it said had a typo in it. It says, I apologize. Somebody didn't even care enough to put the word down right, I apologize. And you know, so we apologize for our previous tweet. It was shared in error. No, it wasn't. No. You typed out what you thought you could do and told where Harrison Butker lived. Yeah. That is not an accident. I was so shocked by that. I'm glad that Attorney General Bailey in Kansas is going to look into this.